On this next episode of Outlook TV, the King and Queen of Hearts contest.
Wet and Wild bowling brunch.
And Yellow Peril, the celestial elements. And much, much more.
Hello and welcome to Outlook TV. I'm Rebecca Wyman.
And I'm Robert Mackay. And lucky you're watching the Queer Magazine news show that brings you the stories that matter the most from, if the flannel didn't give it away, the coast to coast of Canada.
We're going to kick it off with a bit of a sad story, going to the celebration of life of Jamie Lee Hamilton.
A trans rights activist who will be surely missed in the Vancouver area.
There are community leaders and then there are community advocates. Today, we're at the celebration of life for Jamie Lee Hamilton, one of the premier advocates who's been working her entire life to eradicate the injustices for our community. Let's go see what this event is.
We gather today knowing that Jamie Lee touched the hearts, the minds, and the souls of countless friends, intimates, and political supporters. She had political rivals, a sizable number of whom she converted to her point of view. She was very charming, talented, and stubborn, a hurricane force of life. In 1969, Jamie Lee began her gender odyssey at age 15. She worked with Dr. William Maurice, a supportive psychiatrist at the University of British Columbia. Jamie Lee loved to tell the story of how her crew of teenage trans kids frequented the White Lunch Cafe on Granville Street. One day they met hostility. The cafe owner told them to clean up and to stop wearing stilettos, raunchy outfits, and pink lipstick. And then he demanded that they leave at once as they were bad for business. After a quick caucus, Jamie Lee and co-conspirators marched past the long countertop full of desserts, and they poked their fingers into each pie and cake along the way, laughing defiantly. It was an early signature act of rebellion.
Well, one of the things that's very fascinating about her is that she does have a very broad reach, right? Almost all of it is about helping people, helping marginalized people. But if she sees anyone in trouble, she did sort of get in there and try to do something about it. She hated injustice. And there are a lot of people who are marginalized or a lot of people who are victimized. So that's one of the reasons why I think she is in so many communities.
At St. Paul's Church, this is Sister Fancy Pants, Miss Gay Vancouver 40 for Outlook TV.
This next story is not about Alice in Wonderland.
But I still hope you're ready to go down the rabbit hole because the King and Queen are going to be crowned.
The King and Queen of Hearts.
Miss Gay Vancouver 40, Sister Fancy Pants, is bringing back tonight the iconic and historic Valentine's Day duel, where local drag artists are going to perform for the title of King and Queen of Hearts. Not only are going to snatch a crown tonight, but we're also going to raise a lot of money for charity.
At this event, our king set is actually not gender specific. So the winners of our competition for the King and Queen of Hearts, at the end they get to choose whether they want to be a king or a queen.
Tell us about the historic of this event.
It's one of the stepping stones for the monarchy. So you start out traditionally as a winner of the King and Queen of Hearts, then you go on to be Mr. or Miss Gay, and then you become an imperial court princess before you become an emperor or empress.
What are you going to be judging the contestants on?
They're judging on three things. They're judging them on their performance, their outfits, and their question and answer.
Go in and decide who should be your King of Hearts.
I'm going to be kicking off the drag king half, as a co-host with the fantastic Connie Smudge, and then I'm going to be closing the show with a little number where I slip into something a little more comfortable.
To use who I am and what I am to be able to express myself in the community and to help just a little bit more. Tonight's performance, let's just say, I will survive.
Sometimes you got to make some love.
I'm doing Tenacious D, Fuck Her Gently. I'm not sure you can put that on TV, so you have to bleep me out, but F Her Gently, I guess I could say. The look has been developed for a little while. I just decided I wanted to have glitter on my face, and I went for it, and then the whole crooner look kind of came together.
L is for the way you look at
I have a track record of performing in some of the charity events in the community, and what better than when a friend asks, will you be a part of my inaugural charity event, to jump in with a whole heart and say yes.
I love the idea of being a king that brings joy to people, and if that's the King of Hearts, then that's me.
just in a bit. We have our king. You fetching wieners.
Well, those two winners just snatched a crown. I asked them out on a date for Valentine's, but unfortunately they turned it down. From Vancouver at the Junction, it's Ollie for Outlook TV.
We're going to have to take a little break now.
Could I get more light in here? I can still see her. Could I just wash this out? Anyone? Lighting?
I'm Callan Dorval, and you're watching Outlook TV.
Hi, I'm Avalon, and you're watching Outlook TV.
Welcome back. You're watching Outlook TV.
Hey, Rebecca. You know what lesbians love to eat?
Quiche.
They sure do. And in a little play production called 5 Lesbians Eating a Quiche, they sure went to town on that little dish.
Hello, queers from far and wide. Tonight, Outlook TV gets a hot, fresh serving of glorious performances from a special ensemble in 5 Lesbians and a Quiche. Let's get some.
It is 1956 in Anywhere, America. It's not specific, location specific. And a bunch of widows have gotten together to break quiche, as they say, as they do every year. It's really a town full of women who are unmarried. They are actually not out lesbians. So throughout the show, the cast members interact with the audience, and they'll say, like, Eileen, you look beautiful today, to a man. So everyone in the audience is part of the widows. An atomic bomb goes off, and it kind of makes them realize that they're stuck down there for 4 years, and they can actually come out now and say really who they are, because as one of the characters says, no one's going to care when we leave here in 4 years. It'll be 1960. We could probably get married if we wanted to.
Susan B. Anthony Society for the Sisters of Gertrude Stein.
Why do you think it's important to perform queer content in theater?
I think in theater especially, visibility is so important. We're starting to see a little bit more in TV, but I feel like a lot in theater has been very heteronormative, and so it's really cool to see some more representation. The characters have been very stereotypical, and I'm starting to see a lot more characters that are breaking that mold, which is really exciting to see, a lesbian character that's not necessarily butch, or say like a gay character that's not necessarily feminine, and so it's really cool to just see that, like, we're a whole spectrum of people, and it's really, really cool. I mostly do voiceover. Theater is a fun place for me to play, so I mostly focus on voiceover, and I'd love to get into film and TV, but theater always has a special place in my heart, for sure.
I feel incredibly lucky to be here doing this role with all of these people. I've met so many people recently in the queer theater community in Vancouver. It has been absolutely mind-blowing, the family and the friendship. Anyone queer, anyone ever in the world wants to see themselves on stage, on TV, on the big screen, written in a story. We want to feel like we're seen and we're not alone, and that we aren't the only person feeling the way we are. So any opportunity that we get to tell these stories is incredible, and people are realizing that people are dying to hear it.
I fell on a turkey baster.
Wow, what a meal. I'd say these folks have found their quiche. I'm Emily Ann Fraser. You're watching Outlook TV Vancouver.
Our next story is about the Wet and Wild bowling brunch, which I must admit confuses me a little bit. Is the bowling wet? Do you eat brunch while you do it?
Is the brunch wet while you bowl? Is it a liquid brunch?
Oh.
And what makes it wild?
Well, obviously the people doing it.
Let's find out more with this next segment.
Well, hello Outlook TV. It's a little rainy this morning, but I'm so excited because I get to have brunch and practice my bowling skills with the Wet n Wild's Wednesdays Bowling Club. Let's check it out.
This is our brunch and bowl. This is now the second time we've had it. Basically, we've actually just finished brunch down the road at Earl's, and now we'll be doing 2 games of no-tap bowling, and we'll have prizes and have a good time. Wet n Wild Wednesdays, we are one of the 2 gay bowling leagues in Vancouver. We bowl on Wednesday night here at Revs. There's also the English Bay Bowling League, which bowls on Sunday nights. And the leagues actually started just prior to the gay games in San Francisco in 1982.
What is special about gay bowling leagues?
Again, it's something outside of the club scene. We actually have members from late 20s to late 80s. So it's definitely people of all ages, of all abilities.
Do people have to have specific skills to be part of the bowling club?
Absolutely not, no. You can tell that by our scores. No, it's something that you learn. It's really the social aspect to it as well, right? So, I mean, people come, they're going to be bowling, but that's the byproduct. You've got people eating, drinking, socializing, and like today on a Sunday, we're here doing the brunch and the bowl, right? On March 13th, 14th, and 15th, we are hosting the Vancouver English Bay Cup. We have teams from obviously the Vancouver Lower Mainland area, from Seattle, Portland, and other parts of U.S. and Canada.
I've been a member of Wet n Wild Wednesdays for many, many years. I joined when I was looking for a group to get to know other gay men and women to socialize in, and so I just looked around and found it online. It's very friendly, very sociable. Non-competitive, although with a little bit of competitiveness edge to a non-competitive environment, but it's mostly for fun. It lasts from September till end of April, once a week. It's just a fun way to get together with people and socialize.
What are your tips for me to become one of the best bowling player ever?
You know, I mean, it's just like, I guess, any other sport where there's different aspects. Definitely the delivery or walk up to the lane 4 steps up. Keep your eyes on the pins where you're shooting, right? And follow through. Those are pretty much the key ones, right?
So do you have any recommendations for people who would like to join Wet n Wild Wednesdays?
Come down, and if you're not 100% sure if you want to commit completely right away, I would suggest coming down and sparing. Get on our spare list, and that way you'll be called if needed, and then you get to have a couple of times to bowl and see if you like it, and then join the next year.
Well, as Elvis would say, I just can't keep falling in love with Wet n Wild Wednesdays Bowling Club. From Bernie BBC, this is Ollie for Outlook TV.
Let's head over to the University of British Columbia to check out their Volleyball Pride Night.
Which the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence were in attendance to, and man, did they get to indulge their perpetualness. But they weren't playing, because they would never damage their nails.
We're at the UBC Pride Night event. It's a varsity game with the men's and the women's volleyball team playing, as well as a fundraiser for the Vancouver Gay Volleyball Association and Options for Sexual Health. Let's go find out more.
It was about 3 years ago, and we were looking at building up our audience with the volleyball game, and we decided to partner with the Gay Volleyball League. They're a really competitive volleyball league, and so we started talking about ways to partner with them, and the idea of Pride Night came out.
So UBC, every year they host a Pride match with the men's and women's volleyball teams at UBC, and they
we partner with them every year and just try and bring people out to show that everybody can play sports and celebrate diversity and inclusion. We're doing a 50-50 fundraiser for Options BC for sexual health. It's awesome to support a local organization that's doing great things in our community.
Why is UBC Thunderbirds participating with UBC Pride?
Well, I think there's probably 3-4 reasons. Off the top is the Vancouver Gay Volleyball Association approached us, I think it was 3-4 years ago. Okay. They have a very large, enthusiastic group, and I think some alumni from the men's team that were part of that. So a great chance to join with a good community partner. UBC Athletics is, I think, prides itself on being a safe space. Third, fun. Okay. We want to have fun and create entertainment, expose what I would say the very high caliber athletics going on to wider, more communities, more people.
UBC prides itself on being an inclusive environment and hoping to foster sort of environments that allow LGBTQ as well as people of color and disabled, all other sorts of minorities to help create safe spaces for people to feel that they are equal. We didn't come out with a win tonight, but I think that we learned a lot, and yeah, we came out, we were playing hard, we wanted to give a show for the crowd, help people just come back to more games and get excited about watching women's volleyball.
We were invited to set up a booth at Pride Night by the organizers, and we decided that it was a good opportunity to show what we've been doing.
So the VGVA is the Vancouver Gay Volleyball Association. It's open to everybody, regardless of sexual orientation or gender identity, and it's just an opportunity to play volleyball in an open and inclusive setting. And we have all skill levels, and we play all year round, beach, court, and grass volleyball.
At the UBC War Memorial, this is Sister Fancy Pants, Miss Gay Vancouver 40 for Outlook TV.
It's time for another break now.
Rebecca?
Robert?
Eyes are beautiful. Too bad you can't see. Oldie.
Welcome back. You're watching Outlook TV.
And we're about to fly over to Montreal with our French accent because the Gallerie Blanc had a special exhibition.
One of the most iconic selfie area in Montreal is located in the heart of Montreal's gay village. Yes, this space is called Gallerie Blanc and it features the exhibition Toilet Paper. Let's check it out.
Welcome to the Gallerie Blanc. We're in the heart of the Montreal LGBTQ+ village. The Gallerie Blanc was created 3 years ago. There was a park here, and we decided to ask the city to buy this land so we could do something with it. We didn't know at that time what we wanted to do, and then we had someone who's an architect who said, we could do an art gallery here. And we decided to create Gallerie Blanc. It's really special, it's very unique. It's open sky art gallery with lighting behind all of the arts. You can see it during the day, you can see it during the night, so it's open to everybody 24/7. And this year we have a very, very special exhibition. It's Toilet Paper. So Toilet Paper is an artist magazine created in 2010 by Maurizio Catalan, and a very famous photographer who works with him, Pier Paolo Ferrari, decided to create this atmosphere and this ambience of all the artistic installations that you can see. All photographs that talks about hyperconsumptions, but you don't necessarily have an explanation for all of the photographies. So you really have to make your own story behind everything that is presented here. It's a first internationally for Toilet Paper magazine to present an exhibit that is not only open sky but also solo. They used to be with other artists, and we really are lucky in Montreal this year to have a solo exhibit of toilet paper. The artists, Maurizio and Pierpaolo, are both LGBTQ plus allies, and you can see by their arts that there's no link to really anything that is specific. You make your own interpretation of the art, so anybody can relate to that. And you know, Montreal Village is of course LGBTQ plus, but we're the village for everybody. So straight people are welcome in here and can make their own interpretations of the arts as well. So this one is very funny because there's someone in it that is being squeezed, and for me personally, when I did my coming out, I really felt that I was kind of, you know, not in the prison, but in a place where it's not comfortable. And you can see that that person is very trying to push them out. So I don't know, there's this personal connection to this art, but at the same time, it's very funny and it's very light. So that's my favorite.
Oh, from Gallerie Blanc, Montreal, this is Ollie for Outlook TV.
Let's head on over to the Some Gallery in Chinatown, Vancouver,
where the Queer Focus Gallery put on yet another wonderful exhibition called Yellow Peril, the Celestial Elements. You know, if there was another element to add to the table, I'd make it queerness.
For sure.
What's up, Canada? Thank you for watching Outlook TV. My name is Leroy Wen, and today I'm here in historic Chinatown in Vancouver, BC at the Some Gallery for Yellow Peril, Celestial Elements, and I think it's really going to be something else.
When I think of my father, I think of myself. Soy sauce on white rice, and what could that mean?
Tonight is the opening exhibition of Yellow Peril, Celestial Elements, and it's in conversation with a previous art exhibition by Paul Wong. And it really is like the baby and the brainchild of David and Jen of Love Intersections. My interpretation of it is that they are revitalizing what it means to be queer, Chinese, East Asian as well, diasporic folks trying to find a sense of self in North America.
The show, I think, for me, really asks questions. It really prods people and wants to make people a little bit uncomfortable, right? Like, for example, we made a fake Chinese character. It's not actually real, but to represent the values of queerness for us. And we want people to look at it and be like, what is this character? I don't recognize it. And it sort of makes them think about sort of our thought process in terms of being queer, East Asian, and in the diaspora.
So we did a traditional lion getting the lettuce routine, but before the lion could get the lettuce, we had a twist. So we had a cardboard that says coronavirus, and then it came out to block the lion from getting the lettuce. And then as the lion tries to confront this cardboard coronavirus, there were all these balloons being thrown at the lion, and the balloons say racism, misinformation, and fear. And then we had people in the audience pop those balloons, and then the lion is able to shred up the coronavirus, triumph, and then get the lettuce. So that is symbolic of the lion, which is symbolic. Usually it brings good luck and vitality to a venue, so using that to defeat the fear and racism and the coronavirus itself, that was the performance.
To make you full, never enough flesh to fill your skin. The surfacing of the coronavirus, and we're seeing with that the resurfacing of some very old anti-Asian racism in globally actually. So we need work like this to push back against the idea that East Asians are this sort of mindless horde that are just kind of taking over the world. We also, I think, need generally this kind of work because we're seeing intense political polarization, all across the globe, and identity politics and race politics are really coming into play. And I think that diasporic East Asians, really have some decisions to make about who we are and what role we want to play in that conflict. So work like this, I think, really helps show us the way.
Diaspora haunted. We hunt for pregnant pauses.
And from the Some Gallery in Vancouver, BC, my name is Leroy Wan.
That is all the time we have for this episode of Outlook TV, but never fear, we'll be back again before you know it.
And don't forget about us, because you can't, because there's so many ways to connect with us. Just go online and find us on the Twitter, the Instagram, the Facebook, what else is
The emails.
The emails. Yes, we have an email address. Remember email? Just shoot one over to us if you want to volunteer with us, because we need somebody anywhere across Canada, wherever you wear your plaid.
Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Rebecca Wyman.
And I'm Robert Mackay.
Stay fabulous, Canada.